Welcome to the channel, everyone. My name is Aaron Touchstone, and in today's video, we are starting a new series called Learning How to Practice in iRacing, pretty much. I haven't seen many series like this, and honestly, why not be the guinea pig of it? In today's video, I'm learning how to practice in iRacing, and I think this is going to be an ongoing series because I honestly love racing, and I want to get faster and faster, and I'm not getting faster and faster. Right now, I am plateauing around the 2,000 iRating to 2,400 iRating mark. I kind of just bounce around in this area. I'll get up to 2,400 on the good tracks that I know really well, and then the tracks that I don't know as much, I tend to fall off quite a bit. Now, my goal here is to simply identify mistakes that are in my driving. I know that I have bad driving habits, and just kind of identify that, learn how to actually practice. So my goal here is to simply post this video. I'm going to do a couple of things. All that I'm doing in this video is simply driving pretty much as much of a stint as we can drive without wrecking. Once the stint is over, I'm going to review my fastest lap from the far chase view. We're just gonna kind of analyze it, see what I might be able to do better. Maybe we'll attack that in the next video. But I want you guys, if you see a common mistake that I'm making, something that you're going to see is overlapping telemetry. So when I am coming into a turn, it looks like this. I'm on gas and I'm on brake at the same time. It slightly overlaps. I know that that is a problem that I have. So I know that's something I need to adjust. But if y'all notice anything else, I would love to hear it, because I simply don't have the iRacing, or I should say the racing knowledge to, I think, change my driving style or technique or whatever it may be. That's why I'm posting this video, is a little bit of community help. So here we go. Let's get right into it. We're going to drive a couple of laps. If you don't want to see all of the laps that I'm driving, and maybe you just want to see reviews, the review lap at the end, whatever it may be, skip around. I'll put timestamps in the video so you can skip around and see what I'm doing. Maybe you want to do the same thing as me and see kind of how your driving stacks up to a current. Well, it says that I'm rookie for some reason in race labs. I'm not exactly sure why, but I'm right around 2,200 in iRating. I don't know the exact number, but it's around 2,200 at this point. So let's see what we can do here. And yeah, let's get it. So let's lock in. You'll probably hear me talking a little bit through this. I'm going to try and keep this as uncut as possible, so you can just kind of see raw reaction and how I feel about what I did in a turn or whatever it may be, and maybe you're experiencing the same problems that I am. But here we go, dealing with this dancy Porsche. This bumpy Porsche, I should say. This thing goes all over the place, but I will say we do have a ghost out. I ran a single, I think I ran 3 laps before this, so we have a decent time to kind of keep up with. I do wish that I had the ghost button down where I could turn off that ghost. Kind of nice racing without one sometimes, but I will say this is a track that I know quite well. Have really good pace. Well, I have good pace for me in the GT3s anyways. I don't know much about the Porsche Cup, actually. I don't know if I have better or worse, but we're gonna see here, I guess. Overall first lap on cold tires, though. I don't expect myself to. I think that was the second lap that I turned with warmer tires, so I expect that. Be a quick faster, and I think we should be able to keep up after this lap. Kind of coast here. This track's so simple, but also there's a few turns that require some good driving technique, in my opinion. You have to be very sharp with it and maximize the speed out of it. So here we go. Actual kind of flyer lap here. Yeah, a little bit of understeer. Definitely could have used some more rotation there. I just went deep. Carried too much speed in there and touched my tire. My back. If your back left tire touches that grass on that left curve, you are in trouble. So don't do that if you're racing this track. I don't know if we'll switch class, or not classes, but tracks during this series. So I used a lot of brake there. So if you do think I should switch tracks, let me know. And I can definitely do so. But we will kind of have this kind of like base underlying data point of, hey, this is as fast as we could have gone around Road Atlanta in the Porsche Cup. This is a fixed setup. There is no changing here, so, or no setups, I should say. I almost feel like I could stay in third there. I did not expect that to be an off track, but interesting. A little bit of a code brown there, but I can hit ABS. I could feel it. A lot more rotation there. Didn't get up on the curb though, sadly, and a lot of understeer that could have been. Oh, that was close to being good, but not at the same time. There's a much better exit there too. A little bit of ABS there, not bad. I will say something about this car compared to the other one. Obviously, the old Porsche Cup didn't have ABS. Sometimes I miss that about this car, just not having ABS. I feel like it was almost more fun to drive, but this car is still really fun to drive. How did I not get an off track there? Horrible line. Kind of just bounce through it. Just off pace there. Ooh, tried to avoid the off track. Didn't quite do it though. Stayed on the inside curve. Much better line. You can see how much better our line was through there. We made up so much time. Golly, we can be much faster through that. We have a much faster lap time in this than our best currently. I don't know if I did that because there was a slight ABS hit right there, and then also an overlapping telemetry that may have been what caused that spin, but I'm not 100% sure. And if you see a mistake, feel free to call out the exact timestamp as well, because I would love to just be able to see exactly the moment that you're talking about. Bit of overlapping telemetry again. Oh, I really didn't think I was going to need an off track there. I knew it was close, but honestly I thought that was pretty clean, but obviously not. To be a bit patient there. That was not the cleanest line. A lot of bouncing. Overall, I feel like I'm driving pretty well. The last 2 laps I have spun a little bit, even that time on exit in that last corner. I'm just going to take this very lightly. Just kind of, oh my gosh, I just stayed in ABS. I started looking at my... That was embarrassing. I'm not going to pay attention to that last corner. That one doesn't count. This is where I would like to get rid of my ghost. Let me get on brakes a little bit earlier, maybe let off throttle a bit. No, I said I was going to get on brakes earlier, and I think I completely missed it. Oh no. I already had the off track. Okay, maybe we stay in fourth for that entire thing. God, we have so much more pace. I just can't put, I need to put a single lap together on track would be nice. I do feel like I might be able to turn in a bit later there and carry more speed, but we might see that in the replay review off of this lap. I feel like I'm getting a phone call, but I can't tell. I'm kind of over slowing a bit in that turn. Oh, just missed. Gonna be a little slow down the straight here. Racing inside of my Ghost. It's off track. Thank goodness this isn't a race. We'll be doing the old 1x to death. Here we go. I feel like that was good rotation. Hit ABS though. Just hopping out of that turn, man. I feel like that was the best time I've 52.1 so far. I can go deep, get to the curve, go into fourth, stay on the curve. A lot of understeer there. I kind of let off. There we go, putting something together through that first section. Losing a lot of time on the exit there. A lot of time. You can see that our lap is just slowly going down. Maybe I need to be slightly easier on throttle, but I do want to smash the throttle there. Maybe I just need less steering angle when I get on throttle, I think is almost what I need more. Try to go a little lighter on brakes, carry a little more pace through. My tires are shot on the back. They are very hot. I'm going to keep pushing and see what we can do, but you're going to see that back end swinging around quite a bit because of how hot my tires are. Staying in third there. I'm going to get a lot of understeer. I got to turn in a little earlier. We had a better exit there. I know my telemetry looked better there than last lap. We can not spin here. So kind of just a smooth application of the gas there. We are making up time, but I don't know if that's faster. I think I just made a mistake on that lap that we're chasing right now. I'm saying third. I let out of the brakes. That's fair. That is fair. I think I deserve that. Off track. Here we go. Golly. A little flick of the steering wheel, we're hanging on for dear life, driving like a maniac. Woo! I mean, driving like that is fun, but it's not fast. I know that my back tires are hot and I have no idea how to cool them off. Can move traction control around a little bit, which is nice. We move ABS, but we can. In ABS there, I know that I am. Just fighting the car. We are running pretty consistent lap times now. Every time we end up. Trying to go a bit more outside here. I feel like I'm using all the track. Come on, grip. Smash the throttle. Really good exit there. It's the first time I fully just smashed it. There's a little lift there, but there shouldn't have been a lift because I did everything right. Okay, I think we just have a bit too much steering angle when I'm stomping on gas there. And to eliminate that, I don't know if I should go a bit deeper and turn in later. But we're figuring out. That's why we have this series. Try and go as deep as possible here. Oh no. Oh, golly. Here we go again. I'm doing something very wrong in that turn. Then in the fourth. Trying to keep the car under control. God, that's such a tough off track there. Full smash of the throttle, just jumping through. We can 100% beat this lap. But the question is yes, I can beat this lap, but why is it that, you know, these professional sim racers are so far ahead of us, is the main question here. That exit's so much better. I tried something a little different. Golly, that was crazy. Holy moly, the fact that I kept that alive was insane. The the same thing. I tried to just smash it. I know that I can't catch up. This is a clean lap still. Maybe brake a little deeper. And I believe I might be turning in a bit early there. Into the right-hander. Here we go. I can feel it this lap. On the outside, using more of the track. Smash the throttle. A lot of bouncing right there, but we still got through it. I tried to point the steering wheel towards the exit curve there, and I think that worked quite a bit better. Really good exit there. I turned in a little bit later into that right-hander. Nice. What a much better lap there in 1:19.291. I do believe I can probably beat that, but that's a good lap for me anyways. Oh, I got the off track there, I was hoping. And we're gonna straighten to the wall here because I know that that was a good lap for me. I want to review that. I want to see what did we do right, what did we do wrong. Let's see if we can figure it out. So here we go. You're gonna notice a little bit of a headphone change. I don't know what happened to my audio, but I had to change headphones really quickly. So here we are, the lap analyzation. I want you to also tell me, in the same way that I asked for tips on racing faster and driving technique and all that stuff, same thing with analyzing laps. If you notice that I'm analyzing the lap wrong, please let me know. I am trying to learn everything that I can and soak it up like a sponge. So here we go. Lap number 18 was our fastest lap. We're about to enter into that. I want to talk about the laps first, and the stint that we just did. We almost raced a full stint. We're getting pretty close to the fuel low. The first 3 laps I don't really care too much about. I did turn a 1:21.92, so I guess technically you could add that into here, but moving to the laps that are on 5 and below. 5 was our out lap, so let's not count that. 6 to 18 were all on semi-warm tires. So we have a 122.74, basically. So 122.74 all the way down to basically a 119. So basically from 6 to 17, we turned a lap time within half a second of each other. Obviously the laps got quicker and quicker as we went. It's kind of nice seeing that, honestly, it really does get quicker and quicker every single lap just about. And all the way until you get to lap number 18, where I turned a half a second faster lap time, and I believe that's because we kind of just dialed everything together and made it work. So it is quite cool seeing how close from lap 10 to lap 17, we were then 2/10 of each other from all of the laps, which is very, very nice. That's some good consistency there, but now we need to get to the consistency of the 119, starting the flying lap of the fastest lap. So here we go. We are entering into T1 here, and I want to state something about this turn. I understand that you can go in this grass and use all of this. I know that that's the fastest part, But it is so scary doing that. I need to commit to it. Maybe it's not as scary as I think it is, but I'm going to go ahead and tell you that I'm not going to use all the track here. And you can see that here. Something about this little scratch patch just really scares me. So I know that I could be out here. Obviously, I think this would be the best place to be, because we would be able to simply get a little more rotation towards the outside and also get on gas quicker, meaning that we could also probably use, because we used more steering angle on the outside and swung it a bit wider, we would probably be using less steering angle on the exit, meaning that we would put less heat into our tires. If you remember me from racing, I did have extremely hot tires, so especially towards the last few laps on the rear. So I think this is part of the problem. Here we are coming into it, holding a long trail brake there, pretty light. I do believe this is where I'm simply making this mistake. You can see all of these little dead spots right here. I believe this is where people are going almost off track and turning in out here. So imagine I was, out here at a little bit faster speed, probably, even if it's 2 to 3 miles an hour faster, and would be able to turn in a little bit harder, maybe even get on gas closer to that point. Because where do we even get on gas? I wasn't 100, well, I'm still not 100% throttle. I'm 100% throttle at the curb. So could we get onto gas a little bit earlier if I stayed outside would be the main question. If I rotated a little bit later, could I have gotten, 100% throttle somewhere in here because we had a little more rotation? We got to analyze that. We got to figure that out. It may be something to test, but we'll see. So here we are. I'm not too upset about that turn 1, at least for our current state of racing. Here we go into turn 2. I don't know if this is technically turn 2. At least what I'm going to call it. Looking at this, I do believe that I could have went a little further outside, first of all. So looking, I think I could be coming in at almost a steeper angle out here. And just looking at it, let's back it up. I think that we're going to have a common problem of not using all the track. So same sort of thing, and I think what caused the problem initially was not staying outside enough on this part. So I want to be further out here and coming almost across out here. And you can see I touch this curb and immediately get off of it. Once again, I think it's the same problem as turn 1. So if I stay on this curb all the way until the end, and I start to rotate the car here. So I'm trying to rotate the car early. Instead, it should potentially be out here and later. So if I would have done the same rotation and stayed further left, I probably am not using as much steering angle. And you can see here even oh my gosh. Oh no. We have so much to work on. This is scary. But I mean, this is part of the process. I just noticed another problem. So we get to right here. We start the turn in. I flick the turn in. I think I might have this problem now that I'm noticing it. I know. Oh no. There's so many things that you gotta fix. So watch my steering wheel. I start the turn in. I turn right. And if we go frame by frame, I am now turning left. I'm now turning left slightly. Still turning left. I'm now even. And I am on gas before we hit the curb. I do like that. That typically causes you to kind of go over the curb a bit more smooth. But, I mean, I'm bouncing all over the place. If I come in a little bit later, there's a good chance that when I'm coming over this curb, I could almost have the steering wheel straight instead of 75 degrees this way, or I guess this way, whatever that may be. And I'm probably not going to bounce as much. I'm also not going to waste as much tires. Yeah, interesting. We're learning. We're learning. This is why you analyze your laps. So here we go. I do like how much track I'm using here. I think this is the move. I don't know if I love that I get onto the curb here. Okay, I didn't make the mistake that I thought I did. Okay, that's good. But I do touch the grass. You will see my car react differently right here. So it spins. You can see that tire. It gives me a little more rotation, honestly, but I don't know if I lose speed because of it. Like, could I be accelerating faster? I'm not exactly sure. I do get a slightly dirty tire on the left side, so I guess could cause understeer potentially on this next turn, because now this tire is what's fighting for grip, but I don't know how much. I don't know how in detail that is. I know that iRacing has dirty tires, but I don't know how much this is affecting me on this turn in here. So here we are. The good part about this, I will say, is I stayed flat out. I don't know if there's a correction in line that I could have here, but I feel like I took this rather well. Probably could be taking it a bit faster, because I really didn't. Yes, I was flat out, but I didn't push myself. Like I turned in and kind of avoided that on purpose. If I have more speed, you can hit this pretty. You can. Well, missing my button here. You can go on the inside curb and kind of just like stay on this side, and make it more of a straight line. I feel like I've forced myself that wide plenty of times, but not on this lap. So I don't know if I'm losing pace there or not. I probably am losing a tenth or two, but yeah. So here we go. I am on brakes before we hit the curb, and on the brakes a bit harder. This turn is maybe the hardest turn on Road Atlanta. First thing that I'm noticing here is, yes, I could once again be a bit wider. If I aimed for the end of the curb, I think we're going to have the same sort of scenario here where I'm still on brakes trying to get rotation and borderline sliding, and I'm not full throttle until here. So could I be, if I stayed on the curb, got all of my rotation out here instead of in here, could I be full throttle somewhere in this area versus after the curb? That's very interesting. Very, very interesting. We're trying to find tenths here. And I think that could be the case. It would help me carry more speed. I would have more angle. I wouldn't be turning the wheel as much, saving tire pressure, or well, heat in the tire, kind of tire pressure. And I could also probably force myself a little further out wide. I went wide here, but I could be out in this area if I had enough speed. So I think we could gain a little bit more speed if we did go a bit wider. All the way back here is I think the main problem. So I think I'm turning in early, in a way. Not turning bad laps. I feel like this is a decent lap. And I think I could go faster, but... So here's another one. We are on brakes at the... just before the 200 board, we're starting to go onto brakes. We're probably at max brake pressure around the 200 board. The long trail back on gas. I'm not noticing any dead spots right here on the track, but I am... Could I turn in here? And would it be faster if I tried it? Like turned in hard. Drop the brakes. So that would mean what I'm thinking in my head right now is, could I, let's say, get on brakes initially really hard at the 200 board. So the first engagement of brakes would be here. You can see I'm at max brake pressure pretty much for how I took this turn. But could I apply my brakes here, starting to apply them? Especially because I bet I am right here. Yep, I am 100% right. Here's my telemetry problem. I'm coming off of gas and applying brakes for, I don't know. How many meters is that? 25? 30? I'm on gas and brakes at the same time? That basically means that my front end isn't stopping as fast as it could and getting as much traction. So there's a driver mistake. I do think that I could brake a lot later here. A lot later. I think I can initiate the brakes at the 200 board and stay and start to trail off. When do I start to trail off? Holy moly, this is interesting. I've never really just deep and tried to off. Okay, so I'm falling off of brakes already around here. I don't have a load cell pedal, so I'm falling off of brakes here. I think I could start dropping brakes on this line instead and carry more speed. But here we are, full on gas. I think oh my gosh, do I do it again? Do I turn in too early, or am I analyzing this wrong? I feel like that's a pretty good exit. Could use a bit more turn. I think if you hit the curve here, you spin a bit, so I don't think it's worth taking on that curve. But I do think I could be turning in mostly right in here. Oh man, this is a headache. I don't think I could really take the straightaway too bad, but maybe there's some adjustments I could be doing. Just kidding. There shouldn't be much. This one, it's kind of a guessing game in the braking zone on this. Braking zone, I feel like. There's not a for sure one. You kind of just try and break in between the 100 and 200 board around the 150. Once again, here's our problem with the telemetry. A little bit of overlapping, just so we can see that. Especially at a high rate of speed. We are at 165. We're on gas and brakes for a whole mile per hour. It's not a lot. I mean, that's like 20 meters again. Where I've got gas and brake at the same time. Here we go again. I feel like I'm turning in so early here. And I'm trying to stay on the curb, but I almost think that I need to... I don't know, I don't hate it. I don't have... I don't hate this line, but I think I still could turn in a bit later. I think I could be doing this turn in out here. It just feels a bit sketchy to me, and I don't know if that's because I'm just not used to trying to push the track limits or what, but I think that would make things a bit less awkward for me. Because if I had a little bit wider rotation here, I kept on having problems throughout the whole stint in this little area here. If I had a little bit wider rotation, I could probably stay closer to this line. And if I was, let's say, for instance, out here, if I was in this area, or even just, you know, a foot or two this way, I can probably 100% gas a lot sooner. Because once again, You can see it here where I'm just kind of like getting on gas, dropping gas, all kinds of things. Dropping gas again right there. So maybe that's something that we could fix there. I'm not 100%. Here we come through the finish line. I think I stay flat out here. So honestly, a pretty good exit. I'm not too upset with that lap. I think that lap was pretty solid. There's a lot of adjustments that we can make. This is the first episode. I hope that y'all enjoyed. I feel like we turned a pretty good lap. I think we understood that, hey, maybe we need to turn in later on basically all of the turns and try and eliminate the overlapping telemetry of gas and brakes. I think is the main things that we need to focus on right now. If you saw any other mistakes, let me know down in the comments below. If you want to practice with me, maybe we start like an online session, a hosted session one time a week or something like that. If you would like to do something like that, let me know down in the comments below. Say, hey, I want to practice with you, and I'll try and set up a date and time that maybe we'll be able to run every day of the week or something like that. So anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.